real quick. All right, in question 1, if n equals 5, how many electrons would there be? There'd be 50. Now, a couple different ways you can go about doing it. If we do it the first way I taught you, all right, if n equals 5, how many sublevels are there? There are 5 sublevels. Now, all right, their names are 5s, 5p, 5d, 5f. We'll just call him that. All right, how many electrons go in 5s? And 5p, and 5d, and 5f. How many of these increases by each time? So what's this one going to have? So we would add all these together and we would get 50. Now, that's how you do it conceptually. I showed you a shortcut if you don't want to do it conceptually. So what's the shortcut if you don't want to do it that way? N squared is the shortcut. So 5 squared times 2 would be 25 times 2 is 50. That's the shortcut if you'd rather do it that way. Okay? It doesn't matter which way you pick. Emma.
So how do we know when we find the electrons to that level or
it depends on what it says. If it says n equals means the energy level, and you have to add.
So because the energy level is the neighborhood, that's the total house level.
If it just says D, like down, let's just say it's in here, and it said how many electrons are in D, then you would not need to add. It's just the house. And you would say 10. Okay? Number 6, yes. You have to add again because it says n equals. You would just use the sublevel and you would not need to add. But when it says n equals, that's the whole energy level and you would need to add. That is correct. Okay? Number 2, if L equals 3, what's n? 4. Okay? Number 2. All right, if L equals 3, what sublevel is it? If L equals 3, you have to know what sublevel that is. It's an F. Okay? That's where you have to know what the sublevel is. If L equals 0, L equals 1, L equals 2, and L equals 3, I'm telling you what sublevel I gave you. Remember, they're the quantum numbers, not the quantum letters. So this is S, P, D, F. So when I give you L equals 3, I'm giving you what sublevel? F. So to have a SPDF, what energy level do you have to be? 4. N has to equal 4 for you to have a 4F. You can't have an F unless you have a what in front of it? A 4. So N has to be a 4 in order to have a 4th sublevel. Remember, they're S, P, D, F. It's the 4. Have a 4th sublevel unless you have a 4th energy level. So N has to be a 4. That's why the answer is 4. Okay, so N has to be a 4. All right, number 3. Given an S sublevel, what are the M values? Okay, you cruise back again. L is what? So M is -0 to +0. So what's -0 to +0? Just 0. All right, so that one was 0. All right. No, I'm just writing the answer down before somebody says what was the answer again. M equals -2 to +2. What's N? All right, well, first of all, what's L? What's L if it goes from -2 to +2? It's 2. So, what sublevel are we talking about again? Talking about D. So, in order to have a D, SPD means you have to have what? 3. So, N has to be a 3. So N has to be 3. All right, how many electrons are in the px orbital? That is correct, and it's 2. Px refers to just that one orbital. So
No, you said that was, and it's two electrons in each orbital, so I think electrons orbital. I'm like,
that's right.
yeah, and
All right. Each orbital holds how many electrons? 2. Okay? Each orbital holds 2 electrons. So this holds 2 electrons. Now, in a p sublevel, there's how many electrons? 6. All right, the p sublevel holds 6 by itself, right?
8.
This is px, this is py, and this is pz. I asked you about just px. Px by itself holds 2. Py by itself holds 2, and pz holds 2. So if you add px, py, and pz together, that's how you get the total of 6. So I just asked how many does pz or px hold? Sorry, I was thinking I said pz. Px holds 2. You would say yes. How many electrons does that equal 2 hold? 8. You got to add them up. N equals 2 would be just like this one. N equals 2 has how many sublevels? 2. Their names are, so 2s and 2p are, you're going to need to move if you can't be quiet. No. Well, you possibly do, but I know John Younger. All right, so 2s and 2p, so you get 2 plus 6 is 8 electrons. Fresh. We okay on that one? All right, so the last one said, what's the shape of D? 4 lobes. F is a flower. Yes.
Peanut.
You can call it a peanut, you can call it 2 lobes, you can call it a dumbbell. Any of those are fine.
Peanut.
Huh? No, 7 is a 4 lobe because it's a D. They were running through all 4 sublevels. S was a what? Sphere. P was a peanut. D was the 4 lobe, and F was a, yeah.
So F is flower.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, 4 lobes is the left one. All right, can we talk homework? I would like to see your homework today, so pull them out.
Yeah, I actually want homework.
Pull them out by hand very quickly. Let it be side by side, if you will, so I can just scan very quickly. Good. Come on. Hey.
I lost it.
Yeah. Good. 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 Are you done? You got it? Come on. I already did the whole side of the room. Good. How about that?
Found it.
From the rest of them. They're going to put down an answer. What? You don't have any of it? Show them, Mark. Show them, Mark. Show them. You got yours down?
I analyzed it like that.
Angle, even my Bible.
I know that.
Okay. Okay. Good.
I didn't do it, but I can hear the problem. All right, let's look at homework now.
Let me see if I have mine or if I need to go hunt up. What's this one start with? What's the first question? I think I got the right one. All right, so how many quantum numbers describe the location of electrons in an atom? Just yell it out. 4. Which quantum number describes shape? Or what could you have written? I was thinking symbol myself. L, orbital or L. Either answer would be sufficient on the quiz today. All right, how many orbitals does the D sublevel have? Names of the sublevel? Good. Which quantum number tells the sublevel? Orbital or L. Either one is good. Which quantum number describes spin? S or spin. Either one is good. How many orbitals does P have? How many electrons? Good. Which sublevel can hold 14 electrons? Which sublevel can hold 10 electrons? And it has how many orbitals? Good. What does n equals 5 mean? Good. If n equals 4, how many sublevels do you have? What are their names? Good. How many orbitals does a 4s sublevel have? 1. It doesn't matter that there's a 4 in front of it. It's just an f. We're going to work on that today when we do orbital notation, but any s has 1 orbital regardless. Which one is lower in energy, a 2s or a 3s? 2s. Which one is bigger, a 4s or a 2p? 4s. How many electrons can n equals 3 hold? How many electrons can a D sublevel have? Good. How many electrons are there if n equals 2? It's 8. You have to add up the sublevel. So that's one of those n equals, so you add them up. How many electrons are there if you have a P sublevel? 6. Now this is a definition. An orbital is an area of probability where we think the electrons are located. That's Schrodinger's theory. Remember, an orbit was one of those rings that Bohr talked about. An orbital is an area of probability. 3D area of probability will work. Or you can just write an area of probability. All right, number 20. Which sublevels can exist? 3D, 6P, and 8S. Are those what we have? Fabulous. All right, the second one. This one should have been the one that had a little more meat to it. Might have caused a few more glitches. That one should have been much easier. It should have taken maybe a little bit longer because it had the L values. Daniela came in and was saying before. It took me a while to figure out what those L values were for a minute. But then I was proud of myself once I figured it out. Oh, well, I wasn't going to point that out in a minute. Okay. Now, what's the L value of the P sublevel? Meaning, what number did we assign to L? These are the numbers we assign to the sublevel, okay? Remember, they're the quantum numbers, not the quantum letters. So we gave them numbers. These are the numbers we gave them. So what's the number we assigned to P? 1. How many orbitals does D have? 5. Orbitals are pictures, those X, Y, and Z axes. If you can remember that, you can remember the orbitals. How many electrons are in the px orbital? 2. That was in the opening today. How many electrons are allowed in the d sublevel? How many sublevels will n equals 3 have? What are the names of the p orbitals? What's the L value of the s sublevel? It's 0. People like to say 1 because they forget s has 0. If L equals 2, what are the m values? If L equals 2, what does n need to be? 3.
Finding interruption. Students going with the trio group to USC Charlotte are every week come and meet in the front lobby.
If L equals 2, what must n be? If L equals 2,
Teachers, you will have the list. The list has been provided through email.
if L equals 2, and you have a D, what does n need to be to have a D? It has to be 3. How many orbitals are there if n equals 2? 4. Because if n equals 2, how many sublevels are there? S and P, right? How many orbitals are in S? And how many orbitals are in P? So 1 plus 3 is 4. Here, Queen, you need the periodic table for tomorrow. Because you don't need, tonight's homework is what the other day. You be gone. All right, number. Where were we? 11. How many electrons are in n equals 4? 32. That n equals, Tritori. Anytime it says n equals, you got to add all the sublevels. Okay. Name the 4 quantum numbers. Or you could have cheated and said NLMS. All right. How many orbitals are there if n equals 3? There are 9. You got to add them up. What's the L value of D? What sublevel has a value of 1? P. If L equals 3, what does N need to be? What are the sublevels? N equals 5. How many electrons are there? The one you got to add up. It's the one we had in the opening. What are the M values of the P sublevel? Yep. What are the M values of F? Yep. Okay. Are we okay on that or no? Remember, what's the value of F? F is 3, right? So you'd have to say minus 3 to positive 3. All right. The value of the spin? Uh-huh. How many electrons can F have? And if you know you go from minus 2 to positive 2, what's the value of N? 3. Question. Hold on. Can I repeat what? 19 is -1, 0, and positive 1. And 20 goes from minus 3 to positive 3. 13 is 9. How to do it? Yes. So if n equals 3, how many sublevels do you have? What are their names? How many orbitals in S? How many in P? How many in D? That's how you get 9 orbitals. Okay. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Number which one? 16 is 4. If L equals 3, what sublevel do we have? F, right? We have an F sublevel, S, P, D, F. Got to have an energy level of 4. Anybody else? If L equals 2, you got a D sublevel. L equals 2, SPD. What's N got to be to have an SPD? SPD. Yep. Yep, in just a second. Just gotta wait on. In order to have a D sublevel, L equals 2 is a D sublevel. Okay? It has to be what energy level? S had to be your first energy level. P had to be the second energy level. So D has to be a third energy level. N has to be a minimum of 3. You can't have a D below the third energy level. SPD. D has to be at least a third energy level because it's the third sublevel. Just like F is the fourth sublevel, so you have to have a fourth energy level. I gave you that in the question. Yeah, I'm telling you in the question that L equals 2. You have to figure out which sublevel that is. So if L is 2, is it S, P, D, or F? L is 2 is telling you that it's what sublevel? D. You have to know that it's a D sublevel. Okay? You have to figure that out from the number. Okay? No, you would then take its D and tell me that N is equal to what number now? In order to have a D sublevel, S is a first, P is a 2, D is a what? So you would tell me N is equal to 3. This is the answer. Being able to tell me that N is a 3. Anybody else before we do the flicker? Anything on the homework? Now, we're not going to do a lot with the flicker. We're going to do 5, 6 questions just to make sure we're okay on answering it without our notes. And then we're going to take the quiz. All right. If you remember your card number, grab your card number. If not, hang on a second and I'll have it pulled up. Good. S is 0. But it's the first energy level. In order to have an S, you have to be in the first energy level. And then, so N would have to be 1. And then to have a P sublevel, you'd have to be in the second energy level. And then to have a D sublevel, N would have to be a third energy level. Because the question's asking you what would N be? What energy level would you be in? Yes. Okay? The question's asking what energy level. So you'd have to be in the third energy level to have a D sublevel.
Oh, yeah.
That's the minimum. You could be beyond a third, but you have to be in that minimum. Yes. All right, there's your card numbers for those of you who don't know. Because we don't do this near as often as I do third. Because y'all have way too many superscripts and subscripts. You're 6. Yes. There's only 12 and 4. All right, does everybody have their card? Alright. I'm not giving you very long answers, so be quick. There you go.
Well, make it right.
All right, we got 11 right and 2 wrong. All right. Are you supposed to hold it like that? The answer you want me to read should be facing up. So whatever letter you want for the right answer, hold it up. that what you did? Well, what are you now? All right. So now I only have one answer that's wrong. All right. So the M values for P. What's the L value for P? 1. So minus 1 to positive 1. It was B. Okay. So pick another one here. It's going to be real quick. We're only going to do about 6 of these. Ready? You got to rotate it slightly because you got to jack that back. There you go. All right, so we only have one wrong answer. F can hold how many electrons? 14. 7 is the number of orbitals.
Oh my gosh, I thought it was 17.
All right, which quantum number tells? The orbital quantum number tells what?
I got this one. Oh, wait. Okay. You know what? I'm going to wing it. I'm going to wing it. I know. I know. I studied for the quiz, not for life. Oh,
You might want to study at least the next Tuesday.
I'm working on
Probably. It works Wednesday. Do we? If we have early dismissal, will be Wednesday because we can't do 65 questions. I have no idea. All right, now next week really slow. All right, so we got 2 wrong. All right, orbital quantum number tells what? J.
Okay, so the principal tells body energy level, and then space something, and then magnetic, so like, what are those?
All right, if the M equals 3 sublevels, has 6 electrons currently in it, how many more can it hold?
I don't know. I'm not getting any of those. Oh. I'm wrong.
Not very patient. Know that.
Oh, yeah. It's time for
Keeping your hands in the middle of the black. It will not read that way.
I think I didn't know it. Where it goes? I need my
Yeah. All right, so we have 3 wrongs and 10 right. N equals 3 holds how many? 18. I said there were 6 in it. So how many will it hold? 12.
I think you can take yeah, for real.
All right, last one. The L value of the D sublevel is what? The L value of the D sublevel is what? Last one. Are you ready?
No.
All right, there you go, guys. Rotate a little bit there. All right, we got 9 right, 4 wrong. What's the L value of D? 2. S is 0, P is 1, D is 2, F is 3.
Oh, yeah. I missed one.
Not terrible. All right. That should mean that you'll be good on the quiz. I hope so. All right, if you will, you need a writing utensil, and that should be it. Okay? You need a writing utensil. Put your cards up here on my desk.
Where are you?
It really matter what order we put it in.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'll make somebody else do a quiz.
I went to bed.
No. Not five. Yeah. All right.
I'm scared. I'm putting into the Mario.
One for and towards behind you. Yes, we did. All right. Make sure you put your name on it. Write your answers down when you're done. Flip it over. All right. This is the first quiz grade of the new quarter. I'm expecting excellent grades and start out with a good note. The test tomorrow is homework grade. I'll start it out on a good note. Your homework grade. Does count. Oh, depends entirely on what the word is, I suppose. No. Which one? No. Number six. Number six. Huh? I do put in words. You can supplement the answer if you need to, but. We went over all four shapes of the opening. I know with question 7, we did all four of them. Honors the question. But I mean, yeah, it's good though. You're gonna come right and collect. You can collect them when we're done. Okay. No, they're not. That's why. I don't like dogs. Although this is not old. Hopefully, this is the one that. It's still working. Gotta go. Exactly. Yeah, don't get much longer. I'm just like, well, it's better if you write down.
What?
I don't know. What kind of number?
Before you mess up. It's over. But you know you've done something wrong. Stop. What? What, about second guessing yourself? Unless you know you have made a mistake. Go with your first impression. Unless you know you have made a mistake. Stop going back and changing it. You don't have this all open. Unless you know you made a mistake and you're taking a test, don't go back and change your first test. 9 times out of 10, you made an error. But if you know when you read the question, oh yeah, that's not right. I know I'm messed up because I know the material is not that. Then fix it. But if you're like, no, maybe I should fix it.
That's my favorite one.
Don't change it. Just go with the first thing.
That's my favorite. I always think that's my
Then don't. And if that kind of thing, don't look at it. Listen, no, work the question wrong.
It's better. It's really better. I don't think it's
All right, write down whatever it is you want me to know. Has everyone done that? Have you written down everything you want me to know? How many questions you got left, Victoria? All right, read them and put down what you want me to know. Jordan, go around and pick up everybody's paper except Victoria. Just trying to second guess yourself. Don't change anything unless you know you're wrong.
Wait, you know what I wrote down? I wrote a goal. Family get part of credit. Yeah, at least I know what it was. I didn't get part of credit. I didn't know. I was like, I know how to do it. I don't know.
No, what is that? No, we don't ever describe it.
No, there's 8. There's 8. They have 2 it looks like this.
Alright, how'd it go? You need a periodic table today. Worry reading for eighth grade. One of your lower grades. You're a native speaker. He's not the one. Look at that eighth grade. I
I don't look at the test, and I was hoping to bring my girl. Yeah, right now. And then she tried to like, no, it's like a test grade. I wouldn't like a test grade. And then she didn't want to argue with me. And I'm right. She's wrong. I don't like her. Yeah. I have a 90
All right. So, find your periodic tables. You're going to need those today. Yeah, only a periodic table. Nope, we're going to use it for the next few days. We're going to color code one tomorrow, so make sure that I give you the periodic table. We're going to color code for those who are going to be out tomorrow so that you can color code it when you do the video tomorrow night. Because when you come back on Friday, you need the color coded periodic table. Because we will be color coding a different one, and you are not going to have time to catch up and color code in class. All right. Now, yesterday, we were talking about orbital notation, right? So, we need to go back and straighten out where some of us were getting confused. Now, before we do that, we need to draw our chart for orbital overlap. Okay? So, tell me what I do so that if you want this on the quiz or the test, you know how to draw it. So tell me how to draw my chart if you want to draw it on the quiz or the test. What do I do? Yep. So tell me what I do. All right, so I'm going to number 1 through 7. And what do I put beside the 1 through 7? Okay. And remember, this works really well on lined notebook paper. It's a little hard to freehand on white paper. All right, so hopefully I'll be able to keep us on track today. What do I do in the next column? All right, so 2 through 7, and then P's beside all of these. Now, you already have it. I'm just doing it so we've got it on the board to refer to. And then the next column. Oh. All right, and the last column. All right, now, the hardest part when you're doing this on a quiz or a test is drawing in the what? The arrows. So, when you do this, all of the arrows are diagonal. For what? Depends on how messed up it is, because there's no partial credit to this. So if you draw the arrows wrong, you're going to answer all the questions wrong. So theoretically, you could make a 0 on the quiz because you'd answer all the questions wrong. It is very scary. So you have to get it right. Now, the flip side of this is I'm also going to teach you how to read it off the periodic table tomorrow. So if you can't draw these arrows, I'm going to teach you how to find it off the periodic table. So you're going to have 2 different methods. You will be surprised on the benchmark and on the final exam how many of you will fall back on this and not that. Okay? If you draw this a few times and practice it yourself, you will like this. A lot of you will like that better than that. But if you never draw this, you will probably draw the arrows wrong. Okay? So you do need to draw that once or twice on your own just to practice it and make sure you get the arrows in the right place. It's not that hard on lined notebook paper. It is harder to freehand on the whiteboard or on unlined white paper because you have to keep all the numbers and that lined up. I can do it because I've done it for a long time. Now, orbital notation. We said yesterday that orbital notation shows all the electrons. Now, this one is the one that's the biggest pain because we have to show everything. Tomorrow, we're going to start scaling it back and showing less. Okay? But the things we'll learn tomorrow don't make any sense if we don't learn this part today. So that's why we're doing it this way. Now, we said yesterday we were going to draw nitrogen, right? So, how many electrons did nitrogen have in it? 7. All right. So, yesterday when we were doing this, just don't write this down, we already did it yesterday. We said when we drew this line, the 1 stood for the what? Energy level, principal quantum number. The S stood for the what? The sublevel or the orbital quantum number. The line stood for the what? the magnetic quantum number, or the number of orbitals, or Ethan's orientations, okay? The number of orientation, and then we put an arrow on here which stood for the electron or the spin, okay? So we're representing all 4 quantum numbers we just spent 3 days working with. Now, to read this, what's the first thing in the chart? 1s. So that's where I got the 1s at yesterday. Is everybody okay with where the 1s came from? Now, how many orbitals did y'all learn s had? Not value. Orbital, or pictures, the x, y, z axis. So we draw one line above the s. That's where the one line comes from, because the s has one orbital. Now, how many electrons do we learn could go in an orbital? 2. So at most, I'm going to be able to draw how many arrows on this line? 2. Now, that's only 2 electrons. How many electrons does nitrogen need? So I can't draw 7 here. So do I have enough to put in my 7 electrons? Back to my chart. What comes after 1s? Back to the top, down my arrow, 2s. How many orbitals does 2s have? S only has 1 orbital, right? It doesn't matter that it says 1s. It doesn't matter that it says 2s. And S has how many orbitals? I draw one line above 2s. Now, how many electrons can go in an s orbital? So I have 2 arrows, 2 arrows. That's how many? Have I got enough space for 7 electrons yet? Back to my chart. What comes after 2s? Now, a p. How many orbitals can p have? Can have 3. So that's 3 lines. 1, 2. Make that a little smaller here. Put this. Okay?
Oh, they're not written back.
They're not written stacked. No, they're side by side. Okay? Now, how many electrons can go on each line? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Do I have enough for 7? Now, I'm not going back to my chart because I have enough homes for 7 electrons. Okay? Now we're going to put the 7 electrons in. Now, the rules we talked about yesterday, alpha, what? Why are they there? Because according to the quantum numbers, each sublevel has orbitals, right? So the S and the P's are the sublevel. The lines represent the orbitals inside the sublevel. Okay?
That's what he said it was.
There's 3 orbitals in a P sublevel. So I drew 3 lines to represent the 3 orbitals in the P sublevel. S only has 1 orbital, so I only drew 1 line. So theoretically, in a couple minutes, we're going to have a D sublevel. So D sublevel will have how many lines? Yeah.
So
We still don't stack. They're still side by side. 7. So we're not going to have 5 with a nitrogen. I'd have to have a bigger element.
why do you want to see that?
Because they all have to start in the first energy level. Everybody's going to start at 1s. So that's the closest to the nucleus. Everybody's going to start at 1s. All the elements. And you just go out from the nucleus and go up. Everybody's going to start at 1s. We're showing the electrons and where they are from the nucleus and out from the nucleus. In and out. In and out. There's the nucleus. And they are rings. Right? First energy level, second energy level. Inside here, there's an S sublevel. Inside here, there's an S and a P sublevel. Inside here, there's an S, a P, and a D sublevel. Right? That's what we're representing. Now go back where? You do realize that's not correct in terms of the way it really looks. I mean, you can take a picture of it. You can take a picture of it. I don't mind. But in terms of how it really looks, it's not really right.
Is that going to impact potentially if I change the test?
No, it will not impact your test grade. As long as you don't like post it anywhere, it will be fine. Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, except it doesn't really look that way. It's not spatially drawn right. Okay. And like when you have like a 4, okay, and you know that a 4th energy level has S, P, D, and F, okay, this D and this 4F here, this one is actually going to be smaller, and this D is going to be bigger, and so that one is actually out there, and this one's actually out in here, which is why we have this overlap chart, okay? That's what this chart is for, okay? Because that's why I can't draw this. I have no way to draw three-dimensionally to show you that this thing is smaller than this thing to show that this 3D is out here and this 4S is over here. Okay, I can't do that. Yeah, and see this 4F, that would be way out past the 6S. So I'd have a 5th energy level and a 6th energy level, and the 4F would have to be way out past the 6th. I just can't do it. And plus it has to be three-dimensional.
Okay, so if you look at this like the original everything with the ring, so like the ring looks different.
Yes, it all spinning. And plus,
And that's why they overlap because at one point, but they're different rings.
plus we have to draw these as dots to represent areas of probability to show darker ranges of where we think they're at and lighter shaded areas out here where we could still possibly have electrons. Okay? Because they're statistical probability.
Electrons are like all on those.
They're in the range of those rings.
So then, what we're doing here, like how
That's the prediction of where they're at.
we're predicting where you're at.
Yes, that's the main prediction of where they're at. Yes. That's the greatest chance of where they're going to be.
You know, by the time where you're at, this is all it is, like kids probably know better.
And that would be fabulous, because then people like Emma could probably visualize it better.
I know, I figured it was. Yeah, it's like, they're numbers, and like, I don't even know it's like.
So this is just like a map of where the electrons are. Okay, it's like a picture. I'm trying to get there, but y'all keep stopping me. If we could just draw one or two, I think it would be so much easier for y'all to understand. But y'all are getting bogged down in the details. Yes, that's right. Okay, it's just a continuous one. All right, so energy level, sub-level, orbital. We're going to put the electrons in the orbital. Now, I about said they had to fill the lowest energy level possible, right? So we showed it as a hotel motel yesterday. You have to fill the whole first floor before it could go to what floor? Okay, so this is the first floor of the hotel. Is the first floor of the hotel full? Clearly not. There's nobody in it. So, the first electron goes in the 1s. Now, is the 1s full?
No.
No. According to our spin quantum number, we know the electrons have to do what? Jordan? What are you doing? Tell your mom to stop taking you to the middle of chemistry class. Now, if the arrow is spinning up, what do we learn about the spin of the electron? It has to spin clockwise and counterclockwise. So, the other electron has to spin down. Now, I can't put the next electron in the 2s because there's the 1s full. Okay, hold on, let me go back. Could I, so that, I had it already there. Could I say to put the second one there first?
No.
No, because the 1S is not what? Full. That's what I was trying to find out from you. And you said no. That's a good answer. So we have to put the second one there so the 1S is full. Yes, because it can only have how many? 2. Just wait. Now, the third one is going to go where? At the 2S or the 1S? Okay. Is it full?
No.
So what are we going to do with the fourth one? That's right. You've got to spin in an opposite direction. You got to get the 7. Yes. Now hold on. Now, Hund's rule yesterday said that orbitals of equal energy. Okay? This is degenerate. Very good. All right, that means they're of equal energy. This is like having a 3-bedroom house. This goes back to y'all's discussion when y'all came in this morning and were moaning about your siblings. All right, so you have a 3-bedroom house. How many of y'all like to sleep or hang out in the same bedroom with your siblings? Okay, Alexa's the oddball in the room. None of the rest of us want to share a room with our siblings. Okay, electrons, same thing. They don't want to share because we don't want to share. Electrons look at each other and go, I'm taking this room. Number 6 comes along and says, share, own room. Share, own room. Thank you very much. I'm taking my own room. I'm not sharing with you. Number 7 comes along and says, share with you two. Take my own room. I think I'll take my own room too. So they all take their own room. They don't share. They're not full. So hold on a second. Now, just to throw a glitch in here, just because you know, let's say for just a second that we have oxygen. We have 8 electrons. So I'm redrawing what you have. Okay? Now I'll let you catch up. All right? I redrew nitrogen. I put all 7 electrons back on the line. Oxygen has 8. What are we going to do with the 8th electron? Are we going back to the chart and getting another room? Or are we adding it to the 2p? What do you think, Alexa? Why? Okay, go ahead.
Because then you have to have other electrons in the other. Then what? How many electrons actually need? No.
Not to understand yourself.
Okay, so you need like another electron in the 2p. So if you add 3s, but yeah, you can't because the s was only so. Wait, no, but then you have 2 electrons in that one. But no, see, wait, I want a big one. Oh wait, so the same electron goes up and here's how it's supposed to. Oh no. Wait. Yeah. No, wait. I'm guessing this.
Where you go, like that, Is it full? All right.
But it could be,
But you guys can
Because it doesn't have enough electrons yet. All right, this is like mom and dad had food. Okay? Oops, we got pregnant. Are we building on another room? Or is somebody going to share? Somebody's got to share. Okay? Yeah. Now, it would be fabulous if we had enough to build on another room out back in space. here's the extension. But does it usually work that way? No. Nope. Somebody's got to share. Is the 2P floor full? No. We can't add on another level until the 2P is what? Full. Is it full? No. So sorry, so bad. Here is going to have to suck it up and share a room with number 8. Now, typically, first room and share there. We don't put it in the middle or at the end. We do it on the very first line. Okay?
So when you have a number, an element that has more electrons, you can add on if you fill up.
Yes. When there's enough electrons that the one has to share, huh? Be like the walls out. We would have to have somebody share a room. I do not have money to build on these things. I have to teach about like 6. Actually, you would have to give me some kind of meds or something. Yes, you would, for oxygen, you would need that extra arrow. Because you'd have to have 8. Nitrogen is done because it has all 7. Have that one next. What if there were 6? All right, so if we go back and we do 6. Here, let me do another page. I'm getting kind of small. All right, so carbon would have 6 electrons, right? So we still have 1 F. We're going to do some more of these. 2 F, 2 P. All right. So where's the first electron going? Okay. Second one, because it's got to be full. The next one. Next one, because it's got to be full. All right, so we got 2 to go. First one go. And the second one. You're at 6. You got room for playroom. Kids got someplace to go hang out and get away with the parents. 3-bedroom house. There's no extra room. Can't add any extra room. You either got space for extras that no one's using, or you got them all filled up, or you got a pram full of crap. Yes. Right. All right, who said wait over there? Yeah. But these are separate houses. Okay, because they're separate floors. Remember, these were floors in the hotel motel. We had to fill this floor in the hotel motel before we could go to this floor of the hotel motel. This was a separate floor. You can think of it that way, I suppose. Think of it as a small house. Small house. This was a bigger house. Got more rooms. They didn't get a house or a room. Yeah. No, there are never too many electrons. Not enough space. All right, let's do iron. We need something more electrons from you guys. All right, iron has how many electrons? 26. All right. So, all right, hold on. Let me see if I can use my tech skills here. Yeah, they're not so hot. All these factors are probably really bad. Ain't already bad. I just want to copy something. All right. I'm going to go fire. All right, there's our chart. All right, what's the first thing on our chart? All right, so 1F. How many lines do I put above an F? 1. Got it. What comes after 1F? How many lines go above an F? Next? How many lines go above it? All right, so how many spaces do we have for electrons thus far? All right, does everybody know how she got 10?
Yes.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Because remember, how many electrons go in each orbital? 2. So we're at 10. How many do I need? All done?
No.
Back to the chart. What comes after 2p? After 2p, what do I see, Ashai? Okay, so how many lines go above the 3s? Why is it a 1? And an F sublevel. Remember what?
It's been a long.
Now, you remember that stuff we just spent 2 days working with? These are our lines. So every time we have an F, that's 1. Every time we have D, that's 5 lines. Every time we have F, that's 7 lines. Okay? Never change it. So when we get back over here, when I say 3S, 1. All right, what comes after 3S when I get to the bottom of the here? 3P. So P has how many lines, Victoria?
Wait a minute. 3?
I'm telling y'all, I'm going to buy land in Wyoming, and I'm going to start going out pack up the
Bring
shit
them
on
back
this farm.
up.
All right, so after 3P, we have what? All right, let's count again. How many lines? 16, 16, 18. So after 4S, I hear. All right, so above a D, I have how many lines? Sure. So, well, we can do the arrows. So, where do I start at? And it goes what direction? And it goes, and then, because it's not full, so I had to fill it. Now, when I get to 2P, my own room, the next one comes along and he says, I want my own room. And then, somebody's got to share. Too bad. Gonna be the first one. And then number 8 comes along. A lot of kids. Number 10, got to share. I had a lot of accidents in that family. All right. Number 11 and number 12. Number 13. Number 16, number 17, number 18, number 19, number 20. Fabulous. All right, we got 6 to go. We have 5 rooms. So how are they going in? They all are taking their own room. And then what happens to number 6? They got to share. You got it?
When you do the atoms, when you do the atoms, you add as you go, it really tells you where the are.
Yeah. Huh? When I say draw the orbital notation, I'm expecting you to draw this. This. That's your answer. This is not the answer. This is the answer. Hey, this wrong. You will do this wrong, yes.
You do it right. Theoretically. You can make a 3D model saying that.
Just go look it up online. You can see lots of 3D representations of the model of the atom online. Not all right. At this moment in time, sulfur, titanium, and germanium. Okay? And I'm going to float around amongst you and see who's having issues and who's not. No, we will do compounds with bonding, and we will learn how to draw Lewis structures with bonding. You're gonna have to wait. It's closer than you think. That's 3 different problems. Yes. Yes. And we have time to do all 3 of them. And come on. Recently. You're gonna say 10 to 4. And you hold 16. You're gonna say 4. What? What? All right, so 13 has every month. So look, you have enough 13, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 16, 18. So you're good. You've done 18 left. Keep going. But you are just yeah. Use this draw. Yeah, yeah. But we get the periodic tables out. Anybody who has something wrong. Drum feels bit small, basically they know that you're free. This one you have it, yes. Okay, class with the dot diagram and electron feedback. The periodic, yeah, remember that's a lot of posts and small at class. Yeah, I don't have time to pull a code in, all right, what else? Yeah, it's gonna have to go. Take a room. Take a room. Make sure that take a room, and then see who wants here. Well. Oh. No, we're that. Well, I cheated just three answers stuck on the board. Wait, the ending. All right. I know. It's because we're low on time.
Yeah, that's a long
So, because I only have about 3 minutes. So, if you look at the end of your configuration, if you did the end right, a little bit again on the test also. If you want to go have to earn this 10 also. Please. Sorry. A, practice being able to draw your arrowed chart, and I want you to draw 3 orbital notation. I want you to draw a nickel. Leave space for the dot diagram. I want you to draw phosphorus. And I want you to draw selenium. Okay? Leave a little bit of space for those of us video during class. For those of you who are not going to be here, tomorrow we're going to do dot diagrams, electron configurations, and we're going to learn how to color code. It's not an incredibly hard day to catch up on. You do need to watch the video and be caught up when you get to class on Friday. And the event, we'll be moving on to other stuff you need to do to be caught up. Yeah. Huh? Say what?